So, welcome back to another relaxed review with your host, with arguably the most in precons and decks alone, me. So, here is our spooky Saturday, second Saturday of the week, and if you've come from our last video, which here's hoping you might have done, we are exploring Duskmourn, the new horror set, or horror-themed set, from Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering. Because the only horror in MTG at the moment is where your money goes into all these cards. Last week we looked at Miracle Worker, a black, blue and white deck which focused more on enchantments as well as miracle cost, which meant that it cost 4 less if it was the first card that you draw that turn. If you if you haven't seen that video, then by all means, feel free to go back to the start of this series and obviously watch at your own leisure or peril, whichever you want to go for, as it is a spooky month. So, that leaves us down to 3 contenders. We have Endless Punishments, which will be reserved for our final week, the true horror, the one that everyone has been talking about. Week before, we will go for Jump Scare. No, literal jump scares, hopefully. Today we have Focus. There we go. Death Toll, a black and green commander deck with Winter, Cynical Opportunist. So fill your graveyard, reanimate monsters. Now this guy, I've got the alternate art in the typical packs for, not the full borderless or anything like that, just the regular art, I think, or the alt art, whatever you want to call it. He seems pretty cool, seems to be the poster boy for Duskmourn, which is interesting. So, this guy, oh, we're out of battery, 1 second. Where were we? So, we have Winter, Cynical Opportunist, Precon Commander deck. Death Toll, fill your graveyard, reanimate your monsters. So, I've not heard much about this one. As you can see, the arch enemy cards include plots that span centuries. I think the other commander looks to be Redmore Creaking Nest. As a human survivor born on Duskmourn, having fought his whole life to stay one step ahead of the house, it may have affected his mood. So, much like every other commander deck, comes with a 100 card deck, a collector booster sample pack, 10 arch enemy cards for the arch enemy deck. You know the drill by now. So, venturing deeper into the mansion, we're going to encounter Winter. So, a count of 3, this should all be opened. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we're back. So, you've got your deck, collector booster sample, and your focus. There we go. You got your arch enemy cards, a little poster bit, and a deck box, looking rather hauntingly suspicious. Looks like he's not really in the mood for it. So, obviously, as shown, you have, if I just, this is about as far as it zooms out, you've got Winter, and then a little bit about him. So, it's kind of cool. I do like the fact that they've got these survivors who are stuck within the house. And then some really cool art on the back. Got how to play his deck. That they seem to all be stuck in this like living, breathing house that was a that's a plane, and you know, like basically everyone's trying to fight to survive lest they be corrupted by the house itself and its horrors. So let's just go through the arch enemy cards. So if I remember correctly, we had this one last time. Choose your champion. Plots that span centuries. I quite like the art for that one. My tendrils run deep, so that's different. Oh, I like that one. Dark wings bring your downfall. I am never alone. Rot like the scum you are. You live only because I will it. Again, I really like the art for these. My will is irresistible. My wings enfold all. And lastly, your mistake is my triumph. So there's some really cool arch enemy cards. It does feel like the theme for this is for the red-black endless punishment commander. Feels very much art style wise devoted to that. So locked doors token. We have purples and a green, as opposed to the last video where we had a yellow, green and purple, or yellow, blue and purple. So this seems to be more in the style of the commander colours, so that's quite interesting. Might as well have a look at the collector's booster. Apologies if these videos seem a bit more rushed than my usual stuff. I'm running on a bit of a time limit. Trying to get these recorded before I got a long trip ahead of me soon, so yeah. So we've got our little advertisement token. Okay, we have Demonic Council. Looks pretty good. And okay, Shiny Saw. That's not bad either. Last time we had the toy, what do you call it? Not Timmy, toy maker, but the kid that can make glimmer tokens, and like can't attack unless there's more than 2, I think, creatures on the field. So bear with me 2 seconds while I get this open. And oh, there we are, insect token, and we'll be right back to review. Alright, so first off we're going to go through our tokens. So we've got insect and shapeshifter. Insect, oh, ooze, bit different to the Karlov mana one. Insect and spider. It looks even worse than the other one. Tree folk and spider. Another insect and shapeshifter. Ooze and insect. Elemental. That's different. Oh, and bird. Elemental, bird, demon, bird, and demon, and bird. So, let's have a quick look at our commander. So we've got Winter, Cynical Opportunist. There we go. Death Touch, whenever he attacks, mill 3 cards. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile any number of cards from your graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. If you do, put a permanent card from among them onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So it kind of feels a little bit like Mirkov from the Call of Mana set, but just a few more steps. Which isn't terrible, but yeah, it's alright. And I was right, our next commander is Renmore Creaking Nest. Menace and Reach, when it enters and whenever you play a card with 2 or more card types, each player creates a tapped 2/2 Blackbird creature token with flying. Tokens are goaded for the rest of the game. So it's kind of cool at the moment that each deck has a survivor and a monster commander, so you can play it either way. That's pretty cool actually, that's pretty good. So probably magic forms, yada yada yada. Okay, so we have, instead of going through all the effects, I'm just going to go through the cards, pause and read if you want. So, Deluge of Doom, Demonic Covenant, Into the Pit, got a first room in the deck, Polluted Cistern and Dim Oublet. We've got Demolisher Spawn, Formless Genesis, Earthsign Monstrosity, Convert to Slime, Moldgraph Monstrosity, Culling Ritual, Cemetery Tampering. Oh, looks like a Phyrexian. Noxious Gearhulk. Ooh, we get a planeswalker in this one. Ob Nixilis Reignited. Oh, 2 planeswalkers, okay. Professor Onyx. Reanimate, Latin Karlov. Good card. Whip of Erebus. So I run Dictate of Erebus in my Mirkov deck. Arachnogenesis. Deathcap Cultivator. Giant Adderphage. Hornet Queen. Inscription of Abundance. Kind of reminds me of a thing from Arcane. A little bit. Ishkana Graph Widow. Scavenging Ooze. Titiana, Nature's Force. Oh, another Planeswalker. Ren and 7. This one seems very Planeswalker heavy at the moment. Deadbridge Chant. Grim Flayer. Another Planeswalker, the Hunger Tide. Ah yes, Old Stickfingers. So, if any of you have actually got any of these precons, which one would you say would be your favourite, I wonder? I know it's easy to go for the red black Handler's Punishment because it plays well, but maybe from a cosmetic side, maybe from a theme side, maybe from a playstyle side, what would be your favourite precon out of this set? Another Solemn Simulacrum, someone else's video. Dryad Arbor. Isn't a spell. It's affected by Summoning Sickness. And it has add... Oh, okay. That's different. So I'll take Orchard. Grim Backwards, Lenelar Wastes, Necroblossom Snarl, Temple of Malady, Twilight Mire, Viridescent Bog, Woodland Cemetery, Vile Mutilator, that's a fun one, Terramorphic Expanse, Night's Whisper, Grapple with the Past, Death Reap Ritual, Putrefy. Ooh, that's creepy, that is. So it's basically kind of like Terminate, but for black and green. Arcane Signet, which is normal. Soul Ring. Okay, Suspicious Bookcase. Command Tower. Carrion Grub. Stitcher's Supplier, that's cool. Crawling Sensation. Gnarlwood Dryad. Harmonize. Harrow. Moldgraph Millipede. Mulch. Obsessive Skinner. Rampant Growth. Sakura Tribe Elder. Scholar Grove Dancer, sorry. Oh, Saga, Binding the Old Gods. Grizzly Selvage. Nyx Weaver. Burnished Heart. Command Sphere. Golgari Signet. Haywire Might. Another Mind Stone. Talisman of Resilience. Whisper Silk Cloak. Ash Barrens. Barren Moor. Good old Bajuka Bog. Dark Moss Bridge. Evolving Wilds. Golgari Rot Farm. Jungle Hollow. Reliquary Tower, that's always a good one to have in the deck, especially if you're got a lot of draw power. Tainted Wood. Temple of the False God. Tranquil Thicket. Tree of Tales. Vault of Whispers. And then you've probably got your basics here, so Swamp, 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 and then, yeah, your forests. Okay. So all in all, I can kind of see, looking at the cards, why people might not jump straight onto this one. Winter as a card, his regular art is very, well, I find it kind of common in the base set to pull. He seems like an okay card, but I feel like he is a little too focused on getting creatures out, too focused on exiling. Who knows, he might actually be really good. But I feel like out of two, maybe Renmore might give you a little bit more for your money, as opposed to Winter. But until you test it, you don't know. Like I said, we might do a deck testing video later down the line. Not at the moment, because I've got a long trip ahead of me. But that was Winter, Cynical Opportunist. second level of the mansion. Third level will be Jump Scare with Zimone. And then finally, to round off Halloween, Spooky Month, is Velgavelth, the final level and the boss monster. Again, apologies that these videos are a little bit shorter than my usual stuff. I don't have that much time to really work with at the moment. But if you still enjoyed everything, feel free to obviously continue watching, do what you gotta do, and I'll hopefully see you next time when we explore further into the mansion of Duskmourn and find the next level to explore. I'm your host, and I'll see you next time.